Hey gamers, welcome to Gamer Opinions, the absolute epitome of gaming journalism. Today we'll be discussing the new game of Capcom, Resident Evil 3, aka ReMake 2, aka RE3Make, aka Resident Evil Resistance, aka. This is the first Resident Evil I've ever played. Intro. Resident Evil 3 is the third game in the Resident Evil series. Resident Evil Remake 3 is the 26th game in the Resident Evil series. It's meant to be a remake of Resident Evil 3, but it does have a few subtle differences. For example, Resident Evil 3 Remake has different graphics. Also, Resident Evil 3 is only $60, while original Resident Evil 3 is $140 on Amazon. These are the only differences. This is the story of Jill and Carlos Valentine as they try to escape from the city. Raccoon City has been infested with angry cannibals, aka zombies. A revolutionary piece of media, this is one of the first depictions of zombies in video game history. Jill is being chased by a large angry man wrapped in electrical tape. His name is Mr. X. Her first objective is to help innocent civilians escape the city unharmed. Unfortunately, all the civilians died, and it was entirely her fault. Her next objective was to escape Raccoon City with a vaccine for the zombie virus. Unfortunately, the vaccine was destroyed by Nikolai, the evil German hitman. Her final objective was to save the rest of the innocent civilians in Raccoon City from certain destruction. Unfortunately, the city was nuked by the US government. But luckily enough, Jill Valentine does not lose any sleep because of these things. The game also explains that the zombie virus was unleashed by the Umbrella Corporation, a British umbrella business. Luckily, they successfully funded a cure for the virus, leaving them completely redeemed in the eyes of the public. There are 4 main characters in Resident Evil 3, 2 of which are playable. There's Nikolai, a man whose graphics are more three-dimensional than his character. The most unbelievable part of this story is the fact that this man ever gained anyone's trust. Then there's a fun cameo by Hannibal Buress, starring as a cool hacker guy named Tyrell. Then there's the 2 playable characters, Jill and Carlos Valentine. Both of these characters have unique abilities. Jill has the ability to pick locks and fit through tight spaces. Carlos has the ability to do neither of these things. Jill is an undercover cop taking on the big city with big dreams and something to prove. I have no idea who Carlos is because I don't care about Carlos. This game has all sorts of enemies. There's enemies over there, and there's enemies over there too. Not only are there zombies, but there are also other enemies. I already mentioned Mr. X, and there's also white zombies, big sewer fish, dogs, a pier, and menacing spider. Almost several of these enemies are scary. This game is evenly split between combat and exploration. Combat is made interesting by the extremely limited inventory, forcing you to leave some of the more effective weapons behind if you don't have enough space. This inventory is the only scary part of the game. Most enemies take a lot of hits to kill. Luckily, ammunition and gunpowder are all over the place, so there's no need to conserve. Speaking of, during the exploration phase, you can explore all over the map to try and find resources and hidden secrets. Due to the mechanics of gathering materials and crafting together useful items, this game has been compared by many to the popular game of 2016, Minecraft. While I do not completely agree with this opinion, I did entirely make it up, so I'm going to have to completely agree. This game almost certainly has one. Once or twice in this game, Jill is antagonized by her nemesis, Mr. X. After several encounters, Jill learns that damaging it only makes it more powerful. Despite this, Jill continues to damage him as much as possible. He has a bipedal weapon-toting form, a 4-legged dragon form, and an angry wall of meat form. Each form is stronger than the last, all because of how much we tried and failed to kill him. The sequel to this video game includes a Godzilla-sized Mr. X inhabiting the nuked-out crater of Raccoon City. So, Capcom decided to dip their toes into the survival horror genre, a noble effort. But what's my final verdict? I thought this game was fun, but it lacked substance. It only took me 20 hours to complete the single-player campaign, and I'm not touching the multiplayer. Besides this is the issue of price. Retail price is $60, but I managed to get it for $40 from some sketchy Steam code website. Still, both prices are wildly too expensive. You think I can afford that kind of thing? YouTube doesn't pay me anymore because I made too many mashups. I think a reasonable price for this game would be $6, or 80% of the current retail price. Finally, my last issue is that it was not a good place to begin the Resident Evil franchise. I started this game with no idea who these people were, what this corporation was, or what was going on. A better place to start would have been Resident Evil 1 or even 2. Also, it wasn't scary. Therefore, I must give this game a 5.5. Buy it for full price if you want, or steal it from your local Best Buy. Anyway, thank you for watching Gamer Opinions. Real opinions, real gamers. Make sure to like and subscribe. Here on Gamer Opinions, we make reviews, top 10 lists, and even more complicated analyses of games. Leave down in the comments below what game or franchise you'd like to hear us talk about next.